Good afternoon, and welcome to Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters. And I am Alicia Alexander. With me this afternoon is my co-host Janelle, and our special guest today is Michelle Forbes. And
Hi.
I'm going to go ahead and have Michelle introduce herself so that she can tell you everything there is that she needs you to know about her. So go right ahead, Michelle.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Michelle L. Forbes. Originally born from Jamaica, trained university teacher, and then went off to another island, St. Kitts and Nevis, where met my husband. We got up together, formed, produced three children, and then in 2017 of November, we migrated to Canada. And we are now living and abiding here in Canada. Just pumped and ready to go in terms of serving God and living the full life. Every assignment, every task, every purpose that God has placed upon and within us to push forth and to live it to the fullest so that by the time we die empty.
Amen. Amen. I hear that, Michelle. Well, welcome, Michelle. And guys, Michelle, like she said, is living in Canada. So we are
Yes.
across the border. She's coming into with us this afternoon live from Canada. Welcome,
Yes.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Janelle, go right ahead and introduce yourself.
I am so happy to meet you, Michelle. I have
Yes.
heard so much about you, and I'm excited to share this platform with you and Miss Alicia today. My name is Janelle. I am originally from the Bahamas, seeing that you from the islands too. I'm from the
Yes.
Bahamas, and I reside here in Jonesboro, Georgia.
Mm.
I'm really excited about this show today. It was just some kind of excitement inside of me, Alicia. The butterflies and all that. I don't really get butterflies, but I'm excited. I know this is going to be a great show. I
Yes.
am an author. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a songwriter. I am getting ready to release my second book. I just shot my music video for my single, getting ready to release that, going back in the studio next week. I am just excited to be busy about my father's business, but I'm passionate about empowering women, empowering everyone to live and walk in your purpose. I feel like, it's you're not living, you're not truly alive and living until you actually understand why you're here and you're fulfilling your purpose. Therefore, I am a life fulfillment coach, and I love what I do. I love motivating. I love inspiring people, and thus I am here today to inspire each and every one of you that are watching this show. So, Miss
Wonderful.
Alicia, Miss Michelle, I'm excited. Thank you.
Wonderful. Same
Thank
here.
you, Janelle. Thank you. And everyone, I am Alicia Alexander, and I am your forgiveness coach. Like Janelle, I'm a mother. I'm a banker. I wear many hats. I enjoy working with women who, at one point in time, thought that they had lost their voice, and through regaining that voice, through forgiveness, are liberated to go on and do more. I found my voice back through forgiveness. So I work with individuals and guide them along the line as to how forgiveness can definitely make a difference in your life. And I am excited about this platform for many reasons, but for more so because we are given an opportunity where we can reach individuals via media, social media, individuals who at one point are going through the journey where they think that they're doing this alone. And we're here to say that you're not alone. We have been there too. We are still there. We're working on it. It's a work in progress. And
Yes.
if you need help or you need just to have a conversation, we're here as a support team. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, supporting each other and uplifting and encouraging each other. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm so excited about this platform. When you have individuals reaching back out to me and saying, listen, you know what, I felt that way. I didn't know somebody else was dealing with that as well. I
Mm.
feel comfortable expressing myself. It gives me such joy to know that I cannot touch you physically, but I can touch you with the words and introduce you to individuals who are doing the same. So
Yeah.
that's my excitement about this platform. So we're
Awesome.
gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And just to add also, I started this platform back in October, and I said, Lord, just give me 6 months. let me take that journey for 6 months. And it has gone beyond 6 months. And it is one of the most exciting things I have ever done in my life.
Yeah.
One, especially because I have found my voice. In
Hallelujah.
case you guys don't know, I am an introvert. I am extremely shy. And this has been an opportunity like no other where I have gone above and beyond to find that voice and to use it. Like my sign say, use your voice. So
Wow.
I've just been working on it, and I'm just so excited and so blessed that God has blessed me with this opportunity. So we are going to talk about we hurt too. And I've thought about this topic this topic came to mind based on a situation that a friend of mine presented to me. And I would look at her life like most people would and think that she was living the best life ever
Mhm.
until she shared some information with me. And because of the experience that she had, I realized that I hurt too. We all hurt too. No matter how beautiful or how put together your life might seem, you hurt too. We all do. And as I thought about it all week, I kept trying to remember, when did I experience my first real hurt that I can remember that I lost my voice? And it took me back to my childhood, as far
Mhm.
as I can remember. I imagine there might have been more before this, but this was the first one that had the major impact that I still remember vividly up to this day. I was I like sitting among older individuals because to me, older folks have something to teach you.
Yes.
I couldn't learn nothing from my peers. And so I was sitting among a group of older folks one day, and they were having a conversation, and I saw an opportunity to inject my story. And I was telling them about, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had to do with a crowd of people. But instead of saying a crowd of people, I said a flock. And one of the individuals said to me, just stop the whole conversation, interrupted me, and said, it's not a flock, it's a crowd, it's a crowd. And I was so embarrassed and so hurt. They started laughing, the way it was said. The other individuals around, the other adults, they weren't children, started laughing. And right away, the conversation changed and they continued with their story versus what I was saying. So it's like I didn't matter anymore. What I was saying did not matter. And after that, I didn't want to talk. I was afraid to say things because I might use the wrong words. I was afraid to speak up because is somebody going to shut me up again? And so I started having these memories, and I realized that a lot of us hurt,
Mm.
and hurting is not just physical hurt. And
Mhm.
we carry this pain, and we allow that pain to shape our lives. And the reason why I can attest to that is because I did. I allowed just that moment to
Mhm.
shut me up, to not get involved in any conversation, to let me process things and think twice before jumping in, think twice before voicing my opinion. And for the most part, growing up, I did not have an opinion outside of the fact that children are to be seen and not heard. I did not have an opinion because I did not want to say anything. And
Hmm.
so I found myself in high school and wanting to be a part of different activities, but I would only take part in the activities where I felt safe, where I felt I could win or I felt I could, count, that I wasn't going to fumble. I did not want to be a part of anything that was going to cause any embarrassment, any pain, any hurt, that was going to inflict any additional emotional wounds in me. And as I started thinking about all these different memories, believing me, they started coming back. And even to just this week alone, I realized that I have dealt with most of them,
Mhm.
but because I buried so much, I still have not. I still never focused on them. I let it go, I let it slide. And I started talking to my pain.
Mm.
Mm.
I started talking to my pain because I am grown, have
Yes.
moved on with life. But because there are so many things that I've not dealt with, I started talking to my pain. And I realized, not I realized, a lot of us do that. A lot of us just brush it under the carpet and don't deal with it. Move on with life. Everybody look at you as being high and mighty. You're powerful, you're strong, and you got it going on. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. I don't know if any of you guys want to jump in and share your experience, but that was, that's what I dealt with this week.
Wow. Wow.
I that's something, Alicia. I'm more of the controversial one, Michelle. I'm so happy that you're my friend now. I can't think back on when I was hurt the first time because I've been hurt so many times. But what I can say, when we have learned, especially as church going women, we have learned the facade of wearing this mask and wearing this "I'm doing good, glory to God" mask,
Yep.
that we pretend that we don't go through. I mean, even when we hear other testimonies, we looking at them like, you didn't have food to eat. I know that there were some testimonies that I wanted to share in church sometimes, and they was looking at me like, you better not say that. Because so and so, what so and so gonna think? And
Yeah.
so and so gonna think this. And I'm like, you've been in a box and in a cage for a long time. And we have learned from our parents. We have learned from the people that are around us how to hold our head high, how to leave everything in the house. You don't talk about what's going on in your life in the house. You just leave everything there and you go out acting like everything is great, no matter what you just dealt with just now. And I know that for a fact because my parents are pastors and bishops, and I've been in church my whole life. So my whole life, I grew up in the public eye. I couldn't even sneeze, without them having to tell my parents. And so I think for us, we have this strong, for me personally, everyone think that I'm this strong person, and I really am. I really, really am. You have to really break me down to cry and for me to hurt. But there is some hurt in there that I've had to deal with. That's being, I mean, unbelievable hurt that you can't even imagine. And I thank God for his joy. That's one thing that has carried me through everything that I've been through. The joy of the Lord being my strength. Because if it had not been for him, honey, I don't know how people make it without God. I don't know how people survive without having him, and also having great friends in your circle that you can confide in, that you can dump your emotions on, and that they won't judge you. You know what I'm saying, Michelle and
Yes.
Alicia? That's important. They won't judge you because when you grow up being married to a minister, being a minister yourself, being a pastor's kid, you don't get to express yourself like humans. Okay, you don't get to express. You can't have those same emotions. You can't commit the same sin that they do because you know why? You're the pastor's daughter. I mean, you've been in church all your life. Oh my God. So you weren't allowed to mess up. And so you always had to put on this face, this emotion, this, give him praise emotion. But people don't understand that we hurt. No matter who you are, no matter what your position is, no matter what post you hold, you hurt. And if you tell me you don't hurt, then I'm gonna think I'm talking to a ghost because we all have things that we go through.
Mhm.
But the great thing about this show, this platform, this opportunity that Alicia have given us, we are being transparent. We're sharing with you what we've been through and how God has brought us out, hopefully to inspire and encourage you that no matter what you're going through, yeah, you may be in that dark moment right now. I get it. I've been there, done that, got a t-shirt.com, but you can move on from that place where you're at. So even though you hurt, even though it's painful, we're going to show you how to face that pain, how to confront that pain. Because, honey, let me tell you, if like Miss Alicia said earlier, you keep sweeping it under the dirt, honey, that's going to surface one day and it's going to show its ugly head in the worst way ever. So if I were you, I would pause for the cause, take a moment, and I would deal with that. But we'll get into that more. Michelle,
Yep.
I know you
Yep.
got something to say, girl.
I love that you said pause for a cause. And it is indeed a worthy cause. And I could identify with both of you ladies. I remember you're saying, Alicia, concerning as you were a child and that event that took place somehow caused you to shut up your voice. And I go back to my childhood days where I was sexually abused by four males in my life as a child. And so that caused me to proclaim what Alicia said earlier, that she's an introvert. I closed up. I closed up. I found that as I journeyed on, and like you, Janelle, I grew up in church. Um, but as I grew and grew in God, what I found was that God connected me to prayer in terms of having me cemented within, and prayer with a group of young people. And so we would meet every Wednesday. We would meet every Monday at 2:45 until 5, and we would pray. And it was there I found that God started to chip away and peel away the different, peel away. And I started to bloom and begin, wow, God, I didn't know that church could be like this. I didn't know that working for you could be fun. And so from there, as I grew, so that the event of the sexual abuse caused me to become an introvert, where I closed up, didn't talk much, didn't relate much. But then as I grew in God, I found my voice through prayer with a set of young people. Then Janelle, as you mentioned earlier, in terms of, you're not expected to, because of how strong. And even as I was reflecting and meditating upon the theme, and I thought to myself, because ladies tend to be strong ladies, project yourself, you know who you are, you know what you're about, you know where you're going. Persons don't think that you hurt. Persons, because you always put your best foot forward. Even if you're going through some things like, okay, this is an assignment, okay, that sit right there until I get back to you, assignment must be completed. And so that was one of the ways that I go about living. And to the point where I remember I had a presentation of my husband, and I was sharing with him that I had to go in the mirror and talk to myself, to get myself like, you can do this, Michelle. And he was saying like, you do that? I said like, yes. Absolutely. But I find that persons view strong women of God, like they don't go through anything. It's like they seem like they live on the mountain. No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No. But as you journey and in your relationship with God, and your relationship with the Holy Spirit, you learn how to, okay, deal with things. And as Alicia, there was in 2011 that God brought up that experiences that I went through as a child and said, okay, deal with it now. And so step by step, he says, okay, deal with this, write this person, tell this person you forgive them. They didn't reach out and ask me for forgiveness, but he brought it up and said, time to deal with it now. And so one by after the other, I wrote, and I sent, because I was no longer in Jamaica. I was now in St. Kitts and Nevis. So I had to reach out to them by pen and paper and even electronically. Yeah.
And I'm happy that you mentioned Janelle, because Janelle, I didn't tell Michelle about my situation. So this is just divine. I was sexually abused too. And I forgave, after leaving the island, I was able to contact the person that abused me and forgave them. But as I listened to you guys, the hurt that I experienced, when it got to the point, because my voice got closed at that point, when it got to the point where I was sexually abused, I was so traumatized just from that one incident that I could not speak about that even if I wanted to. I could not tell anybody what I was dealing with. I did not know how to express it, because if they laugh after me because I used the wrong word, what's going to happen when I tell them I'm being sexually abused? So I carried that pain for years. And finally, when I left and I went to New York and I started college, I had a speech class to take. And I was trying to figure out how is it I'm going to get out of this speech class. And everybody would go up and do their presentation. And every time it's a class, I have an excuse. And my professor was from Jamaica too, was a young lady. And one day she called me and she said to me, we need to talk. And she said to me, if you don't get up there and speak, you're going to fail this class.
Wow.
Not only that you're going to fail this class, but you're going to fail life.
Wow.
And
That's
Wow.
powerful.
she spoke to
That's
me in
powerful.
dialect. She said, you're going to fail life. And I'm like, fail life? I didn't even think about myself at that point. I thought about my mother. If I fail college, she's going to be on me. It's not even about me. But listening to her words, I am going not just that I'm going to fail this class. I am
Mhm.
going to fail life. After I've worked so hard, dealt with all the internal pain, managed everything on my own, not tell anybody, and I'm strong enough to live in a new environment, a new state in the United States, not even little Antigua. You're telling me I'm going to fail life if I don't use my voice?
Hmm.
And I was determined to not fail the class and not fail life. And my first presentation, she said to me, talk about what you know.
Hmm.
And all I knew was the islands. So all of my presentation had to do with the island. And I would get up there and I'd put on my little costume just to present the speech
Wow.
because I didn't know what else to do. But it made a difference that someone realized or even imparted those words on me that
Yes.
if you don't make a change, if you don't deal with what's in front of you, you might as well just quit right now.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's powerful. That's real powerful, Alicia.
Yeah, that
And I
Um,
is.
was ready to quit because I was on my own and I wasn't ready to quit because, as far as I know, as a child, I wanted to leave home so I could prove my independence. And now I have my independence, I'm going to fail.
I,
And
I
go ahead.
I'm listening to you, Alicia, and I remember a message that my husband preached a couple of good years ago, and he was talking about arrested development. A lot of times when I coach people, when I coach women, when I talk to them about who they are, knowing who you are and knowing what your purpose is, a lot of times I find out that they are stuck in some childhood trauma. Like if
Mhm.
they got hurt at 11, if they got hurt at 12, yeah, they're a grown man or they're a grown woman, but
Yes.
they're still stuck at that place where they never received healing. And as we mature and we mature into adults and we go through life and we sweep it under the carpet, we don't understand that all of those experiences help shape and mold who we are. So then you come across some people that are really angry. They get irritated really, really quickly. They're really, really negative. I mean, there's this one lady that I remember meeting, and I'm like, goodness, I mean, what does she eat? She was always like the dog just barking. Every time you ask her a question, woof, woof, she was ready to attack you. I mean, you could just say you're beautiful today, and she would just attack you for no reason. But then when I heard her story and I heard how she was abused as a child and she lost her voice, it caused me to realize that she never even forgave those people. So a lot of times when we be going through as adults, we're stuck in arrested development. We haven't matured past the age where we were hurt. We haven't been healed. We're not dealing with it, and it controls us. What you
Yes.
don't confront will confront you. So
Yeah.
it controls us. It controls how we think. It controls us in relationships. And that's where I want to go today. I want to take this right there, Alicia, to relationships, because if you are hurt and wounded, it's almost impossible. I mean, if you don't deal with that, it's your probability of failing, having a failed relationship is really high because you don't deal with that insecurity. You don't deal with that, that
That pain.
unforgiveness. It
Hmm.
somehow builds up on the inside of you, and
Yeah.
you become bitter instead of becoming better, and you don't even know why you're the way that you are. But I bet you, if those of you that are watching us today, if this is not an easy topic to talk about. A lot of people will
It's not.
not be transparent and let you know, oh, I was sexually abused, or I was molested, or I was this and I was that, and all this stuff. It takes a lot for us to come out and share this. And we're not
Yeah.
just sharing it to boast about how we, how we are not at this place. It's still a process, but we're telling you how we got through so we can help you. You have
Yes.
nothing to be ashamed of. It was not your fault. And that's the first thing you need to get in your brain, that it was not your fault. You
Yeah.
got to, number one, forgive yourself. And then you call Miss Alicia because she's a forgiveness coach. And then she will walk you through that process of how you can forgive and let go. Then you come to me, then I show you how to get to your purpose, understand
Yeah.
who you are, where you're going, and what it's going to take for you to get there to be successful. And then Michelle and all that she's done and all that she's been through can take you through the deliverance process, whatever else you need,
Yeah.
whatever else you got going on in your life. And that's why we're here today. We're telling you, listen to me good. There's no need for you to walk around with this mask on your face that you got it all together. It's okay if you don't. I mean, sometimes I break apart. Thank God I got Alicia. I know she's tired.
Mhm.
Michelle, if you
Mhm.
don't want me to call, you don't give me a number, honey, because sometimes I be going through, and I know some people be looking at me like,
Yeah.
you dealing with that,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've learned that when I'm on an assignment, Michelle, when
Yes.
God has given me an assignment, I've learned how to put myself on the back burner and deal with that. But boy, when the
Yes.
midnight oil comes and it's in the middle of the night and you get those emotions just running up and down in your brain so you can't sleep, and the enemy starts to talk to your mind, that's when you got to know the word of God. That's when you got to know how to go back to what God had said about you. That's how you got to remind yourself, give yourself affirmation and say, no, I'm not a failure. No, I may have failed that, but I'm
That's
not a
right.
failure. I just learned a
That's
way
it.
that
Yeah.
it doesn't work. So
Yeah.
I won't do it that way anymore. I
Yeah.
will try this way. So we want
Yes.
you today, the purpose of this show today, we want you to be free. We
That's
want
right.
you to be free. We want you to be walking around as a free woman, understanding your purpose. You have forgiven those people that have trespassed against you. Because guess what? Forgiveness is not for them, honey. Alicia, tell them who forgiveness is for. It's for
Forgiveness is for
you.
you. It's
It's
That's
for
for
right.
you.
you.
That's
It's
right.
for you. It's for
That's
you.
right.
Michelle.
Janelle, I joined with you when you said it's powerful. That right there that Alicia shared earlier, because as she shared it, what I saw right away was that teacher, somehow God gave her the vision to see ahead. That if you decide you're not going to get over this hump here, every other obstacle, every other challenge, every other thing you'll face in life, you will excuse your way out of it.
Mhm.
And
That's
so
right.
right there in that single moment when you're deciding, oh, I can't go up, I can't go up, I can't go up, you have made a decision that I will not step up to any other thing that show up within our lives. And that teacher was divinely placed by God. That's all I could be able to say, to be able to kind of give her a nudge to go ahead. You have to do it. Like I heard Joyce Meyer said when she started speaking, she had to do it afraid. She decided to do it afraid until she became bold and okay, this is my purpose. This is what I'm called to do. And so I'm going to do it. And so, and another thing that came to mind as you were speaking, Alicia, concerning what took place with me as a child. One of the things that we found, and you did mention it even earlier, children have to be seen and not heard. So there was nobody that knew about what I went through. No, and I am from a family where I have 6 brothers and 6 sisters.
Wow.
So I'm from a big family.
Nobody.
Nobody knew.
And you had to deal with that as a young person alone.
Coming all
With
the
the
way up.
sleepless
Yeah.
nights, deal with the how do I get up and face that person? For
Yeah.
you, for me, it was just one. But for you, how do I face these people? What are
Yeah.
they thinking? Am I going to have to deal with this again? Do I have a future?
Yeah.
So it,
And
it's
some were in the house. Some of the abusers were in the house, the same house that I lived in.
oh,
There were nights I remember that I would be going to sleep and I'll be singing this song that we used to sing in Sunday school. Jesus, you gave my life a song. And Jesus, I'll sing it all day long. Every time I reach to that line, I would say, I try to sing it all day long. Because each day was, is like, you're kind of fighting to put the foot in front of the other, foot in front of the other. Even in high school, I remember days I would sit there, teachers up the front, and shoo, Michelle is checked out. I'm not, body is there, but this,
They've
gone,
left the building.
gone. Yep.
and
And so even with high school, because of all that I was experiencing and all that I was going through, I left high school with one subject, mathematics, with a distinction that everybody complained about, with a distinction, a one. And so even that, even when I went back to Jamaica last January, and I was speaking to my one of my older sisters, and she was one who tutored me at home with my studies, and she was saying, Michelle, then they knew because I opened up. And she was like commenting on, Michelle, you're strong for going through all that you went through. And she was even touching on, I always knew you were always a bright child. But it puzzled her, oh, I graduated high school with just one subject. Because here I was bound. I was hurting. And so teacher is teaching, but nothing is going in. Math, because there was a passion for math for me. It was logical. I could work it out and like going at it again and again. I like the challenge. So I would sit on it until I solve it. So that was easy for me. But then it puzzled her when she said, you're always a bright child. I was like, for real, but who gets a distinction in math
Right.
and pass the only subject?
That's deep.
Everybody's
That's deep,
struggling.
It
Michelle.
speaks that
That's,
there is more that was going on there. There's something
mhm.
going on with this child that nobody knew about.
And we don't see these. I'm happy that you share that, and I'm trying not to get emotional,
Yeah,
but
I feel it too.
a lot of times people don't. If you're not bleeding, if there's no blood coming out, they don't think you
Yeah,
hurt. They
yeah,
have to see either something's broken, a bandage, something is wrapped up, you're in a wheelchair, you're laying up in the bed, or is you're not hurting. And that
yeah,
is just a misconception because we experience hurt in so many different ways. And you
yes.
talk about school. I had a math teacher who told me that I would never make it, that I would
Wow.
never be able to do math.
Wow.
I went to college. I did engineering, got my a bachelor's in electrical engineering, and I took it back and showed her. This was more
Wow.
math than you ever thought I could do.
Yep.
So you had the hurt of sexual abuse. You have the hurt of being a child of a particular parent. You have the hurt that everybody expect these certain behaviors from you or have certain expectations of you.
Expectations. Yes.
You have the hurt that people use different words to belittle you.
Yes.
And you have the hurt of not having anybody to turn to.
Support. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because whenever you try to express yourself, is what's your problem? You got food to eat, you got a place to sleep.
Yes.
You don't see Johnny so and so, you have more than that. So what's your problem? And they think that everything is taken care of and you should have no complaints. You should not be able to voice anything because you get everything that you want and everything is laid on the table. And so we grow up wearing these many hats,
Yes.
putting on this mask, walking upright, like how we were told to walk upright.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
meanwhile, we are hurting so much. And because we hurt others and don't even realize it.
That's true.
We don't know
That's
how to deal with somebody. For example, I'm not married, but if, for example, Janelle comes to me and say to me, "Girl, I'm hurting today," and I'm not talking from I'm just talking from what I've experienced.
mhm.
Then, Alicia, I'm hurting today. One of my first response would be, or one of their first response would be, "So what he do to you? What did he do?" We
Mm.
automatically assume that the other party inflicted that pain.
Yes.
There must have been something going on in her house with her and her husband that's where I jumped to. Turn
Yes.
the tables around. I'm single. And if I go to JNL and say, JNL, I'm hurting, JNL first response will probably, you need a man. You by yourself too long. you, you by yourself too long. But I'm genuinely saying, I'm
That's not a
hurting.
bad idea, Alicia. That's not a bad idea, Michelle. Touch and agree. Touch
Sounds
and
like you
agree.
want to hook her up.
But that's, so initially, that's our response. Rather than thinking, I'm at the place where I really want to talk now. I
Yes.
really have something I want to say. I want to
Mm.
get something off my chest. I've sat down and I've become my own advocate and realized that my relationships are failing. My success, I'm not as successful as I want to be. I'm not dealing with things properly. I'm not progressing or growing the way I want to. Not because of society necessarily,
Yes.
although that might have a factor, because I have not dealt with me.
Yes. I want to touch
I'm
on
not.
that. I want to touch on that, Alicia, where um, you mentioned something about fighting earlier, and right then my mind go back to there are several times that I am relating with my husband. I would say, Michelle, I'm not fighting you, you know? I'm not fighting you. That it was all still bottled in. Michelle, I'm not your enemy. I'm not fighting you. Why is it that you sound like you're fighting? Because it appears as you're going through the after you would have gone through the hurt and the pain, you develop a thick skin and like, I'm ready. I'm in ready mode. Who?
The
Because
walls
I
are
need
up.
to protect me.
Mhm.
So whenever you come in, like, okay, let me just ready myself. My words are ready. My just in case you're
Thinking.
going to become to inflict any sort of pain. And so that really stood out to me, Alicia, as you were sharing earlier. And you mentioned about the fighting part. Like, hmm, it's real. It
And
really,
How
when
do we get over that though? So how do we as women and those that are watching, women and men alike, how do we when we're in that place, because I'm pretty sure all of us have snapped on our loved ones. I remember, and I'm really, I don't feel good about saying it, and I really had to apologize. I don't know which one of my kids it was. I believe it was the middle daughter, or it was the oldest one, and they was just saying something to me. And I was dealing with so much in my first marriage. It was, I was just totally stressed out, and I just took a plate and just threw it at her. And when she went to school that day, when I went to pick her up, the teacher called me and said, "Hey, is everything okay?" And I was like, What you mean? What's your problem? What you mean? Everything okay? What? I was ready to fight. I was like, what's your problem is?
yeah,
And she was like, everything okay? Because she said, no. I mean, I'm not, trying to get into anything. And just let your daughter told us that you threw a plate at her. And my question to you is, what would you have done if that plate had hit her? And it caused me to realize that I had this anger that was inside of me that was not dealt with, that was bottled up, and it will show its ugly head every now and again, but it would hurt the ones that I love. So
yeah,
when you don't deal with the pain of
yes,
unforgiveness, when you don't deal and confront that thing that keeps you stagnated, that holds you in captive and keeps you in bondage, when you don't deal with that,
yes,
you end up hurting the people that you love. No matter how many relationships you've been in, no matter how many times you get married, it
yes,
will not change. Sometimes we say, but if I just had a better wife, if I just had a different husband, it's the same you, honey, the
yep,
same you with the
that's right.
same thing that you've been dealing with since you was 8. So you're gonna bring whatever that was you was dealing with in the first marriage, you're
Yep,
gonna bring it in the second marriage, in the third relationship. God help you make it to a fourth and a fifth. I
yep,
met this beautiful lady that told me she was married 4 times, and I looked at her and I was like, huh? 4 times? And she just started to share some things with me. But I'm saying to myself, I'm saying, so what was the reason? What are you dealing with? When we
yes,
can be truthful with ourselves, Michelle and Elisa,
yes,
when we can really be truthful and stop lying to ourselves. I'm so sick and tired of church women lying. For God's sake, you are a human being. You're entitled to have feelings and an emotion. Okay, you're not a spirit.
yeah,
This you. This is a physical body. You got a soul. You got a spirit, but you're not floating around in space going to heaven. You are a human being. You feel emotions and you feel pain, and things happen to us that some of the times it's not our fault. Some of the times it may be, but most of the times, especially when it happens to us young, it's not our fault. But
yeah,
what I can tell you, if we get in an atmosphere and in an environment where we are comfortable to talk about how we feel, where it's okay to be hurt. It's okay
Yes.
to tell someone that your uncle molested you, your aunt, whatever it is. It's okay. And for you to be safe and know that number one, you will not be judged. Number two, you will not be told that it was your fault and you probably wanted it. And number three, you would feel, they would pray for you, they would cover you. You would feel like, okay, God, I got this off my chest. Now you can do some healing.
Hmm.
Many of us are still broken and not healed because we won't confront it. It happened. Let's
Yeah.
confront it so we can move past it so that you can be all that God purposed you to be. You can't walk in your purpose. You can't fulfill what God has given you, the assignment that He's placed in your life. You can't do it. You can't do it because you won't let go and let God. You won't put the past behind you. Because guess what? You go into a brand new relationship and this is all my past, my hurt, my pain,
Yes.
my unforgiveness. There it is. Wow. And you beating him over the head with the same thing that you beat your ex-husband with, and it's never going to get better. And
No.
I want to see a society. I want to mentor people that are ready, that say, look here, I'm ready to face the facts. I'm ready to call a spade a spade. I'm ready to be healed for real, for real. I'm
Yes.
ready to come in contact with the truth. The word of God says, and you will know the truth, and the
Yes.
truth will set you free. The truth that
Yeah.
you know. So as
Yeah.
long as you keep ignoring it, as long as you keep sweeping it under the rug, as long as you keep, I'm okay. Glory, thank you, Jesus. No, you need to shut up. You need to sit down and you need to ask God to heal you so that
Yeah.
He can use you. He can use brokenness. I mean, let me say that He can use brokenness, but you won't be used at the
Oh,
maximum capacity if
that's right.
you are not healed.
That's right.
And this is time that we nurture and foster a platform and an environment where we can nurture people so you can feel free to say what happened to you and just allow God to heal you. Maybe
Yes.
maybe God is saying that we're gonna do that sometime this year, Alicia. But we need to do it. We need to come together in an environment where we just sit there and cry. We just
Mm.
have a crying session and nobody even knows what you cry for. We just
Just
boo hoo
right.
cry and
Yep.
get it off our chest
Yep.
and write it down on
Yep.
a piece of paper. Everything that has been done to you, everything that hurt you. This is a regimen that I give clients that I'm working with. Everything that hurt you, write it down.
Yes.
Look at it, read it, acknowledge it. It did happen. Yes, it did. It
Yes.
did. And tear it up. Get a match and burn the thing up. Because guess what? You can't put that back together.
Nope.
You can't hurt me no more. I won't let you give you that power over me to hurt me anymore because I'm here. I have emerged and I'm ready to walk in my purpose. And so today I feel like this show is for you. We
Yeah.
hurt too, but we're
Yeah.
here to help you, to
Yeah.
show you how you can get through the pain, how
Yeah.
you can get back up again,
Yeah.
and you can live.
Yes.
Live.
And
Live.
we need to get to a place where we stop judging, because we tend to judge without even knowing what the situation is. We
That's right.
tend to want to pass that judgment so that person don't even want to express themselves. We have to also look at the way we carry ourselves. Because if I carry myself a particular way, you don't want to tell me nothing. You don't want to talk to me. You don't
Hmm.
want to share no story with me. You're thinking that, hey, she made it. She thinks she got going on. I don't want to share nothing with her because she will laugh at me as well. And so it all has to do with a personal transformation where the a mind changing event, an emotional, in order for us to be able to help anybody else,
Hmm.
to be as transparent as possible, to say, listen, I've been there, I am there, I haven't dealt with everything as yet, there's still things I'm working on, because the stress of emotional hurt, not only does it allow you to wear this mask and treat others in differently, it can lead to death.
Yep.
It will
Different
kill you.
sicknesses and diseases within the body. Yep.
You will go to the doctor, and I shared this before, that I had a lump in my chest for years, and I could not figure out why is it that there's a lump right here.
Yes.
I've been to the doctor, and the doctors would tell me I'm a healthy young lady. There's nothing wrong with me. My weight is fine, my
Mm.
size, everything is not perfect, but I'm okay. But this
Yeah.
lump would not go away.
Yeah.
And I had to do that assessment and do that self-test and realize it happened when I think about certain things when I'm ready, when I'm about to deal with a certain situation, when certain things are said to me. It's happening because I have not gotten to the point where I've dealt with things that need to be dealt with. And believe it or not, when I finally called and forgave my abuser, I don't know where the lump went. It
Wow.
just disappeared. And I've had that pain for years.
Yep.
It could be just having a conversation and hearing Michelle tell her story, and I haven't revealed mine or dealt with it as yet, and Michelle starts telling hers. All of a sudden, my chest start hurting. I could be sitting down watching a movie, and in the movie, I can predict that this child is about to get abused. All of a sudden, my chest start hurting.
Wow.
I didn't know where it was coming from because I never really wanted to zoom in and focus on it.
Yep.
But when I got to the point when I finally did, that's when I overcame. And
Yeah.
so we're saying that it is not perfect. It's not going to happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. But the beauty about it is that if you recognize that and even willing to verbalize that you hurt, that's one of the first steps to take to acknowledge that I am dealing with things that I haven't dealt with before. I
Yes.
have to deal with situations or with events that I have pushed to the side,
Mm.
have swept out under the carpet. I'm a mother. I am raising a child, and my life is consumed there. But have I dealt with me
Yes.
that I can raise this child the way the child should be raised? Because God
Mm.
didn't give you a child by mistake. He
Yes.
gave you that child for a reason. Whether it be that child is the voice of reason. My friends used to call my child my conscience. They say your conscience woke you up this morning. You know, brought you to church. Or if I did say things a certain day, it's because and here's my conscience.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And so nothing happened by chance. But if I want to raise this child in the way that God planned for me to raise him, I have to learn to deal with my personal demons.
Yes.
And my demons are hurt. We
Yes.
hurt too. You know,
Yes.
people like to say, you're a strong person. It sounds good. And there were times when I gloat in the fact that you said I was strong. Because yes, I was the go-to person. If
Mm-hmm.
Michelle has a problem, she could call me and I could tell her, tell her what it is that how to deal with her situation. Or she leave a little more contented. If Janelle has an issue or needs some, here you go, Janelle. And Janelle leave happy. But what happened when I have a situation that I need to deal with? Who is
Yeah.
there to listen? Who do I turn to? Are you
Yeah.
going to hear me the way I hear you? And because
Mm.
we are not sisters like that, because we don't open like that, we continually deal with this hurt and don't want to share it.
You know what? I like to jump in here. One, the name of this show, the Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters, epitomizes and speaks loudly this theme today. Because as you were speaking earlier, Janelle, and you spoke about, you know, there comes a time when you deal with it. And you mentioned that it's not going to happen overnight because it didn't happen overnight to you. So you now have to decide after you decide, okay, I need to deal with this. Then the journey begins. The journey begins. And something else popped out at me so profoundly is the scriptures speak about in the spiritual aspect, the things that are not seen are more real. For us in particular as Caribbean women, the culture is get over it. If it's not, as you mentioned, if it's not a slice of the throat or you a heart attack, get over it. Come on, let's go. But the unseen hurt is not something that you can touch. You can't reach out and grab it, but it is very real. It is there and it's very real. And as you spoke to Alicia, when you mentioned about the lump, that was it trying to get out to like, I need healing. I need to be healed. So expressing itself in the form of a hurt, in the form of a migraine, in the form of a physical sickness within the body. But the pivotal moment is you have to decide, okay, this happened and I need to get past this and really live my life for real. If
And
that never happens, you will continue until the day you take your last breath. you will
And you know,
continue living with her. Yes, Alicia.
and you're right. You know, we are ready intellectually to help somebody else. One second. We're ready intellectually to help somebody else, but we're not helping ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't help ourselves because when we speak, we are ready to jump to the negativity.
Mm.
You know, I've been hurt. I can't this. I don't know. Rather than say, I deserve love.
Yes.
I'm worthy. And so we have to speak these affirmations and not just speak them, find a way to connect with somebody, to be honest, first
Yes.
of all, to be honest with yourself, to connect with someone who says, you know what, I understand your pain. Not because I'm trying to fix it up, but I do truly understand your pain. Why I understand your pain? Because I have that pain too. And I can share it openly with you.
Yeah. I
And
must.
go ahead.
Okay. Right as you were speaking there, you ladies have ever been cornered by God?
Hmm. Trust me, many times.
Yes. So I was attending church at in Nevis, it's a Nevis. And there was this in the Sunday evenings, pastor would have a testimony service. So there was this one particular Sunday, he said, Michelle, you're in charge. So from beginning to end, I am to plan the testimony service. Sisters, God told me, share your testimony. I was fighting like, no, God, no. My children are here. They're going to be hearing all of that. No, God, no. He took a minister from St. Kitts. So we live on Nevis, two sister islands. Brought
Mhm.
him the Sunday morning that I am to be in charge of the Sunday evening. And some of the things he said as he was delivering, some of you aren't here and you're wearing a facade. Not even your children know what you would have been through.
Talking right to you.
I was like, okay, God, I heard you. I'm going to do it. After that session, one of my past students came to me and said, thank you, Miss Forbes. You ministered to me. Thank you, Miss Forbes. You ministered to me.
Man, that just gives me goosebumps just to think about that, Michelle. I
Yeah.
remember when I worked at the bank in the islands, I was a teller at the time, and then I was just helping this customer. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, I need you to witness to her, and I need her to accept me because something is about to happen. And I'm smiling with her and counting the money and typing and everything. And I'm saying, I'm not telling her that. I don't know her.
Wow.
She don't know me. I ain't telling her nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept like it was a fight, a war going on in my mind. No, I need you to talk to her. I need you to ask her
Yes.
if she know me.
Mm.
And it was such a fight inside my spirit. I just had to ask her. I said, do you know the Lord?
Mm.
And she said no. And I said, well, I'm trying not to tell you this. I know this is not the right setting. I'm your teller, but I just have a message to you from the Lord, and He wants to know if you want to accept Him. I can lead you to accept Him. And
Yes.
you know what? She said yes, she wanted to accept Him. Now that
Wow.
branch that I was at, there was no public bathroom, no public restroom. But I opened the door and I said, I'm going to take you in the bathroom and I'm going to take you in there and I'm going to lead you to Christ. And I can't remember her name. I don't know. I can't tell you if her name, if I see her face. I took her
Wow.
to the bathroom, the bathroom, and I led her in the sinner's prayer. And a couple of weeks later, on the news, the white, she was driving a white Jeep. It had turned over and was completely
Wow.
totaled.
Wow.
But she survived.
Hallelujah.
But she survived. That scared the living daylights out of me. I'm like, God would put you in a situation that is uncomfortable. I'm like, how you could just take somebody, stop what you're doing, leave the
Yes.
counter at your job, and lead them to Him. But it was
Yes.
like it wasn't even like a question God was asking me, telling me, you got to do this and you got to do it now without hesitation. So I know exactly what it's like being put on the spot by God, and you just got to do it.
Yeah.
But because of the testimony you shared, Michelle, you
Yes.
have no idea. You freed yourself.
Yes.
See all of that love that Miss Alicia was talking about that was in her chest.
Yes.
You freed yourself. How
Yes.
did you feel after you shared that? I know you was nervous and scared, and you
Yes.
thought if you was in the
Yes.
island, what
Yes.
they thinking about me now? I wonder if they know who it is. I wonder if
Yes.
I wonder what they gonna think of my parents. I wonder who they gonna
Yes.
blame for the. You know how we do it in the island.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
how did you feel after your testimony?
Afterwards, you felt light. And in fact, that same past student, because I'm thinking, okay, what is she going to think about me now? Because this is Miss Forbes who taught her in high school, like,
Uh-huh.
but to see how God spin it and use it as a ministry to her, and who she almost didn't make it to church actually. So she came in late. But what she got was like hit her right where she needed to be ministered to at the time. And even as you were speaking just now, what stood out to me is that we must come to a point where we confront and we release. Where
Mhm.
you release it, then you move on. And now you're able to go help somebody else and go help somebody else and go help somebody else. But it must
Obedience.
come to that point.
Mhm.
Definitely.
And we get to that point, this is a powerful a topic that can go on for a couple hours well. But
Yes.
we get to the point where you have to get to the point where you acknowledge, because how you deal with it. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you talk to your pain. You
Yeah.
have to verbalize, not even just sit down there and say it to yourself, because you can lay there and say it to yourself, and the next few minutes you'll probably be sleeping. But
Yeah.
you have to physically verbalize it and acknowledge that I feel pain. I've been
Yeah.
hurt. I'm lonely.
Yes.
I'm sad. I'm depressed. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong in saying it, because when we don't say it, we internalize it. And that's another set of pain that we're inflicting.
Mm-hmm.
So we say it, we verbalize it, you talk about it. And you don't pick and choose, yes, you might pick and choose because might not want to tell everybody at this point. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, you you choose wisely. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And you look at individual, you know what? I could probably share that with Michelle. And you chip away at what can I share. And as you share, Michelle will share something back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you know it, you form a relationship that I can speak to her. And not only that I can speak to her, but I'm comfortable because I just took off one shirt.
Yeah.
I just took off a cape.
I'd like
And
to
as I
share
take that
something.
cape off, I'm getting a little lighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I can walk a little lighter now.
Yes. Yes. Right there
Like I
is
tell
where.
Janelle all the time, if I cut my dreads, I'll probably be 20 pounds lighter. you know,
I wouldn't know who you
but
are, Alicia.
I know, right? But as you take a cape off, it makes you
Yes.
so much lighter.
Peel
Yes.
the layers.
Yes.
Okay,
Alicia.
now there's a smile on my face. I feel a little
Yes.
more confident. I
Yes.
can I can walk a little further. Before I could
Yes.
only walk half a mile, maybe a quarter mile. Now I could go half.
Yes. I'd like to share right there. Right there. As you said that, the Holy Spirit brought back to me. Going before that church wasn't the first time. And it touches again. This is a journey. For you who's listening, this is a journey. Before that was in a closed ladies group. I knew he wanted me to talk. He gave sisters dream about this person coming up and saying, and the thing God kept on saying is, it's time for you to come real, to show them the real Michelle, what you would have been through. Gave the host of that women's group a dream, seeing the person coming to her and say, boy, I believe it's time for me to come real, The only thing, so she said she saw my best friend telling her that. So my best friend said to her, "You're on point, but it's not me, it's Michelle."
Oh wow.
So when I went there, but it's straight back to what you said, Alicia. It's a peeling off, and what came to me right away is like us who live in this part of the world where we have the winter. You layer up, And so as we get hurt, we layer up because we don't want to experience any hurt like that again. So when God said, okay, it's time to deal with this, it's a journey. It's a journey. And that's what I want to share and leave with you guys today. As you are tuning in, it's a journey, but you have to first make that decision. I'm ready to deal with this. I'm going to deal with this. And you start on the journey. And don't be hard on yourself to expect you to become 100% and whole, like at the point when you decide, I'm going to deal with this. It's a journey. Commit to the journey. And by the help of God, you will make it to the end.
And a lot of us have that pit bull spirit inside of us, meaning that we are ready to help others.
Yeah.
That's not pit bull. We're ready to help others. We're ready to minister. We see the potential that we have. We
Yes.
want to reach out. We want to just let it out. But because of hurt, we just sit down there like I don't know, a little dog. Give me a little dog's name. We just sit down there and keep it all covered up, all bottled inside, and just like Gina said, rather than have that pitbull spirit and go after it.
Yeah.
And the minute we start taking off these layers, like I said, we walk with that confidence and we're ready to take on anything. Because Jenna will tell you, this is not my voice. That at least not who she met a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm whew.
Transformation.
You
My
have
son
come a
said to
long
me,
way. Thank
Mommy,
God.
he said to me, Mom, you're always ready to fight. I said, I'm not ready to fight. I found my voice. I'm
Yeah.
ready to help somebody. I'm ready to speak.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bring
Yeah.
some healing. I'm
Yeah.
willing to let somebody know that there's comfort, that
Yes.
there's peace, that you can attain it. I was speaking to some ladies yesterday, and we are talking about the fact that we are not connected to Jesus the way we want to. We pray the way we want to. And I talk about back in the days when they had the landline. If you pick up a landline and you did not hear that dial tone, you would think the phone is not working.
Yes.
And you would not want to continue that conversation or do anything else because I'm banging the phone. It's not working. What's wrong with this phone?
Yes.
And if we don't have that connection, we feel like things are not. When that connection is there, nowadays you pick up a cell phone, you start putting in the numbers and you wait for it to ring.
Yes. Yes.
Then when it rings and Michelle picks up on the other end, yes, I'm connected. We are all connected even if we don't have that dial tone.
That's true.
All
That's
you
true.
have to do is take the first step and pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Take this first step and talk to yourself. Take that step and speak to yourself. Take that step and acknowledge. And if you're as determined as some of us are, take that step and become your advocate. Your
Yes.
advocate for your healing.
Yes.
And we're speaking to those who have joined in and who might want to share this or whatever the case is. We are here for you. We have been through it. You heard Michelle's story. You know my story. You know Janelle's story. We have been through it. And not because we are adults now, somebody told me to color my gray. And I'm like, no, I love my gray. I've been waiting for years for this gray. Not because we're adults now. Not because we're adults, mean that it's over with. We are still learning, we are still growing, but we cannot walk around making these assumptions.
Yeah.
Making these assumptions and coming to these conclusions that this is the way it is. So my word to you, the ladies,
Thank
and
you.
to those who have tuned in, we hurt to acknowledge we hurt.
Yes.
Despite the fact that we walk in certain shoes and we carry certain role and we take on certain position, and we have made it into the White House, and we have, made it on the pulpit, and we've made it as an engineer or whatever the case is. We're human.
That's right.
I hurt like you hurt.
That's right.
And you can have a voice like I have a voice. It's not easy, but it's attainable. And failure is necessary. You might like, well, I don't want to fail. Well, I didn't know this. I didn't know failure was necessary.
It is.
said, I took part in activities where I knew I could succeed. But I had to learn that failure is necessary in order to get there, because that's how we learn. That's how we overcome. If
Yeah.
everything was perfect, it'd be a perfect world,
Yeah.
but it is not. And so, therefore, even with our children, we have to let them fail in order for them to grow. Now, because we had an experience, they must, we must orchestrate everything for them. We
Yeah.
have to allow them to fail as well, and not just fail, but have that hurt, but have that open door to say, "You can speak to me.
Yes.
Yes, I've been through things. My situation might not have been the same as yours, what you're dealing with right now, but I've
Yes.
been through it. I am dealing with it.
Yes.
And it's a possibility you might deal with it too. But this is how there are ways to try and avoid it. Take it or leave it.
Yes.
But there are ways to avoid it. There are ways to deal with it.
That's right.
Because in the event that you try to avoid it, you might run into something else. But guess what?
Mhm.
There's a God.
Yes.
And we have a tendency to fail to remember. We fail to remember that God has taken care of us. When I get up this morning and I realize I'm still here, how can I forget?
Mhm.
Because things not going my way today, how can I forget I'm still here? There are a lot of us a lot of people who are not here.
Yes. Hmm.
So we're learning, we're growing, and we're hurting.
Hmm.
It's okay. It's
Yes.
okay. It truly is okay.
Yes.
And like I said, we could go on all evening.
Yeah.
However, we are at the end of our program. It was deep.
Yeah. Can I share something before you close
Sure.
out?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Now, there is a reason why in counseling, in psychologists, therapy, that the counselee speak. And there's a key question you asked me earlier, Janelle. How did you feel after you were finished? What was I doing? Speaking. I was letting it out. So for you guys who are tuned in now, or maybe you'll watch the replay, I'd like to tell you, we'd like to share with you that it is paramount that you speak. Take it in stages. Maybe at first you can't speak, maybe you write it down. But the journey, the start, you have to come to a point where you release it by speaking, because it does liberate you. And then along with that, I saw ladies, like, as for those who are tuned in and will be tuning in, where in us sharing, somehow God would have punctured. You know, when we get sometimes these big boils, you punch it to release what is in there, so that the healing could, you know, that is one of the things I saw. Like, person, just by tuning in and listening to our story, God is somehow puncturing that boil that you have been carrying for how long, and saying now is the time to confront it and deal with it. And you don't have to do it alone. You have sisters here who you can reach out to, who will help you and walk with you along the journey.
And
Yep.
thank you so much. And for me, that's
That's
forgiveness.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is what liberated me. Forgiveness is what gave me that voice back.
Yes.
I spoke, but I did not speak about my hurt. I did not
Yeah.
speak to my hurt.
Yeah.
And after I learned to forgive, I was able to have that physical voice.
Just.
That's that's the correct terminology. That voice that people could actually hear, not
Wow.
just the voice in action, but
Wow.
I heard I have the voice of forgiveness. I've,
Yes.
I've, I've, I've heard that voice of forgiveness speaking to me, and I spoke it.
Wow.
I spoke back. And as your forgiveness coach, there are guidelines and tips along the way as to how to get to that point. An
Yes.
easy road, but there are ways to get there.
Yes.
As your life coach,
Yes.
get beyond that forgiveness. It will take years because there's some hurt that you find it very difficult to forgive.
Yes.
That guide you along the lines as to how to get to that forgiveness. Danielle will show you how to live on purpose.
Amen.
And Michelle will take you home.
Yeah.
He will take you home. So before we go, ladies, I made it through without tearing up. Before we go, Michelle, your last words to our audience, and how can they find you on social media? How can they reach you?
My last words is healing is available. Healing is for you. It's not for selected few, it's for you. And I reiterate what Janelle shared earlier. Nothing is wrong with you, it's not your fault. But healing today, right now, it's available to you. We're serving it to you on a platter. Reach
And
out.
where can they find you?
I'm on Facebook by the name of Michelle L. Forbes, and you can reach me there on Messenger, and I will respond to you.
Awesome. Janelle?
It's so sad that we gotta go. It's just so sad that we gotta go. But I want to just say to all of you out there that are tuned in, it's not easy to confront something that has happened to you or something that you have been through. If it would have been easy, you would have let it go a long time ago.
That's true.
You just got to build up enough courage to confront it in the face and really ask God to give you wisdom. Ask God to guide you. Father, how do I deal with this now that I know what happened? Now that I've accepted what happened to me, Lord, give me strategies. How do I confront? How do I forgive? Give me a plan. Should I call them? Should I write a letter like Michelle? Should I go there in person? Should I roll over in the bed and say it to my spouse? You know what I'm saying? Just ask God to give you, because I believe that God works it out. He knows everything. He knows your name. He knows everything that you've been through and everything that you've experienced. And he would want nothing more for you than for you to be healed, for you
Yes.
to be set free and delivered. Because guess what? That healing is not just for you, but there are so many people out there that can't see the city for smoke because of what they're going through. And they're waiting to hear your voice. They're
Mhm.
waiting for Michelle. They're waiting for Alicia. They're
Yep.
waiting to hear, I can do this. I've been through this. I got you. I'm holding your hand. I will help you through this. And so I
Yes.
want I want you to know that it's possible. We're here for you. You can reach me. I am on Instagram as Miss_She Inspired. And I'm also on Facebook as Janelle Drayton, or you can find me as She Inspired. She Inspired Women. Okay. So if you reach out to me, you want to go ahead and add me. I'll be more than happy to speak on your platform. I'll be more than happy, to bring my girl Michelle and Alicia along. Hey, we're seriously thinking about putting on this retreat for women so that we can get some serious healing going on. We just got to figure out the details, right, Alicia? I don't like to put you on the spot. But thank you, Miss Alicia, for having me. And Michelle,
Yeah.
it was an amazing experience meeting you. You have such a beautiful spirit, such a beautiful personality. And I look forward to, sharing with you and having you share with us again sometime in the future. So
Yeah.
thank you, Alicia.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you,
And
Alicia.
you are welcome. And I just wanted to let everyone know that failure is necessary. But what's important is that you don't fail and stay failing. It's
Yeah.
what you do with that failure. It's okay to fall, but do you stay down? You can
Get
fall
back
and
up
get back up.
again. Get back
It's
up
okay to
again.
fall, but do you keep your face to the ground or you turn on and say, Jesus? And I want you guys to know that you are worthy. I am
Yes.
worthy. You are worthy.
Yes.
And it's okay to express your hurt. It's okay to express that it don't matter how old you are. Some of us, some of our parents or some of our grandparents may say, well, I'm too old to be crying around about it now. You don't go to your grave with that pain. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it. Express it. Admit that you have pain.
Yes.
There's no reason to tell a story or to lie about anything
Yep.
because all of us have pain. It might be in a different capacity, It might have been at a different time, a different environment, but pain is pain. And one of the most painful pain is the emotional one because a wound will heal. I had surgery a few months ago and it was painful. It was horrific. But I'm walking around today like if nothing ever happened. At that point, I thought that was it. I can't do this. I'm never ever having no other surgery again. But it healed. The emotional pain, if not dealt with,
Mhm.
is devastating. More than we know,
Yes.
especially because no one can see it. So therefore, you can't get any help with it.
Yes.
I am your forgiveness coach, Alicia Alexander. You can find me on Facebook as Alicia Alexander or She Forgave. And you can find me on Instagram as She Forgave One,
Okay.
the number one. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I had a wonderful afternoon. I didn't want it to end.
Thank you. Thank
There's so
you.
Same
much
here.
more can be said. There's so much more that
Yep.
we're dealing with as women,
Yep.
as mothers,
Yep.
as employees, as co-workers, as sisters, aunts,
Yes.
and we hope that we will keep this platform going.
Yes.
It is exciting when I'm not gloating in anybody's pain, but it's exciting when someone can reach out to you and say, "I can relate. Can we speak?"
Yes. Awesome.
Because I know that we have brought some sort of healing. We have touched at least one person, and we have made
Yes.
a difference in somebody's life who, at that point, might have thought it's time to give up,
Mm.
but
Yes.
because of what you might have said or might have shared, made a difference. So
Yes.
until we meet again, remember we're here the first Saturday in every month at 3 o'clock. My co-host Janelle is always at my side. We'll have another guest at that time, and at
Yeah.
some point in time, we will have everybody back together, just so we
Wow.
can have panel discussion. And
Okay.
like Janelle said, we're working on the logistics to have where we can actually meet in person,
That'll be
and that
awesome.
would be an awesome event. Thank
Yes.
you guys for being here. You have a
Yes.
wonderful
Thank
week and God
you.
Thank
bless. Bye,
you.
everybody.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.